as well as cheers. Yo, almost just splashed a lot of water on the floor, but yeah, I think this is actually meant to be a vase for like flowers, but now it's a glass of water for me, so yeah. I've been thinking about what to talk about, and I thought, why not about something that I just like recently learned. And I've been reading this book called *Sapiens* by Naval. I think it's like Naval Noah something, or it's like one of those two words. I think if you just search it up, then you'll find it. But it's like a very interesting book, right? It talks about like human evolution. It's like a brief history of mankind, basically. And in this book, it says that when we discovered like the use of fire, right, and we can then use the fire to like cook the meat from like the boar that we killed or whatever it is, we had such a positive like step forward in our development as like humans, like Homo sapiens. We like first of all like grew taller, we became more muscular, our brains even got bigger, which is like fascinating, right? I think he said it was like a few 100,000 years ago, if not close to like a million, if not more. It was 4 to 600 cubic centimeters, but now it's I think 1,000 to 1,400, which is like that's a massive increase, right? Of course, it's over 100s of thousands of years, but still, that's massive. So yeah, and till about 10,000 years ago, right, when we discovered farming and made more use of that. So that's eating like rice and potatoes and stuff like that. We weren't hunter gatherers as much anymore. We didn't go out and go and kill the boar or stuff like that. I think also it was kind of a threat to us because like the lions and shit like that. So, but anyways, like getting like my train of thoughts. Um, yeah, so we didn't go out as much, right? To like go and hunt basically. We started farming, and that led to what he calls like the biggest fraud in human history. We almost went like backwards in a sense, right? We stopped like growing as taller, as muscular, and it just overall went backwards. So it made me think, I'm not finished with the book yet, right? But it made me think, why not then just add more like meat into your diet? Like if meat was so valuable to us, and everything just started going backwards when we farmed. I'm thinking, why not just? Of course, it's not going to be easy to cut out like plants and vegetables and other like stuff, but I'm sure that could at least almost increase the amount of meat intake, right? And that's definitely what I plan to do. Especially, well, I don't think eggs is really classified as meat. I wouldn't classify it as meat anyways. But there's a lot of like bullshit stuff said about eggs. It's people say that it's, well, I guess the scientists or the doctors or whoever, they said that it's bad for you, right? There's like too much cholesterol in it. But I've been eating eggs consistently for probably like around a year and a half, right? And I eat like 10 a day. I want to bump it up to like 15 now. I ended up getting a cholesterol like test as well, and saw that my cholesterol is like on the lower end, which, I mean, if you listen to what the doctors and stuff say, it's meant to be bad, right? But it's not at all. It's not actually the cholesterol that's bad for you. It's the sugar, right? It's these refined sugars and all these bullshit chemicals and stuff that we never really had when we were, hunter-gatherers, right? There wasn't all of these microplastics, all of this bullshit. Um, so yeah, and there's actually an interesting, um, what would I call it? Like a seminar, yeah, a seminar, right? From about like 12 or 13 years ago, if not more, of this doctor that talks about like sugar basically, and how like it's just such an interesting like seminar, right? I think it's an hour and a half long. I'll actually like put it in the description below. I need to like rewatch it. I sent it to like a few of my family members, but I don't think they care. They would have said something by now about it, right? So yeah, but it like changed my whole perspective on like diet and like the sort of foods that you eat and like how they influence you. Like how you would, let's say, eat a burger, for example, and you're meant to be full, but you're just like not. You're left kind of still hungry, and then you end up like overeating, and that leads you to pick up weight, right? Because like your insulin spikes and something to do with like leptin, all of this like science stuff that I'm not very good at, but he explains it in a very like clear way. That's really easy to understand. So yeah, make sure to check that out. Like I highly recommend it if you're into this like sort of diet stuff and like people that are fat or things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna take another sip. Cheers. So yeah, why not just like hop onto a carnivore diet and see, like, experiment with yourself, see how you feel. I actually have met someone, a girl in fact, I think she's like 25, 26, and she was on a carnivore diet, and she said it was one of the best decisions that she's ever made, right? Sadly, she didn't stay consistent, so she's back to like drinking and like having more variety in her diet, if that makes sense. I haven't spoke to her again, but I've only heard like positive things about it. And from my experience, when I eat as much, like a lot more meat, especially eggs too, I feel great. Like I don't feel like bad at all. Voice crack. I don't feel bad at all. But then again, I feel like I haven't really experienced that extremeness of just going onto like a straight carnivore diet. Like, of course, like deficiencies and these like crucial vitamins that you need, or something to, what's the word, to think about. But again, it's not just like meat, for example. It was also like we as hunter-gatherers, we also ate like roots, which is interesting, and like nuts and mushrooms, and of course meat, right? As well as fish. I forgot about that. Fish is great. But it's mainly like specifically the plants, like the vegetables. We would still eat berries and stuff back then, but wait, now that I think about it, I just got like this idea, right? Why not just eat like how our ancestors ate? And that was literally just berries, nuts, fruit, meat, and eggs. There wasn't like bread, there wasn't like rice and potatoes, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but look, our farming only started like 10,000 years ago. Before that, it was literally just that, like the berries, the nuts, the meat, the roots, and the mushrooms, right? And it actually makes a lot of sense. When I look at, when I'm in the gym, right, sometimes I don't know, I do this thing where I just like look at someone's body for some reason and almost like judge them, and I just see that for some reason they just have like weird fat, like especially on guys that would have like these like gyno, right? Like they have like bitch titties. Sorry, it's just a funny word, and it's not really their fault, right? It's the modern world. It's the foods that they eat. Oh, I guess technically it is their fault because they eat it, but it's like, I'm sure that if they were shown a correct way to eat, like a better diet, and they've got through their trauma, if that plays a role as to why they're fat, or maybe, like I said, they were just never really taught how to, then they could like change their bodies, right? I don't think our ancestors had like weird like bitch titties, or we had like, as a man, fat on like on our hips, right? We developed more like a woman, which is just crazy. No, that's also because of like the microplastics and all of these weird chemicals, and like the sauces that will have all of these ingredients. Like right now, you could take like a chocolate bar, right? And if you were to like open the labeling, like the wrapper thing, and you look at the ingredient list, you'd see there's like 20 or 30 different ingredients. But something like a banana is just a banana, right? I know it sounds so simple, but something meat is just meat. Nuts is just nuts. It's not like a bag of chips is potatoes, but then it also has all of these weird seasonings, these chemicals. Like, it's just, we didn't eat that stuff. Like, no wonder we have these bitch titties developing more like a woman, and even women seem to have more testosterone than what they used to have hundreds of thousands of years ago. I'm sure our like great grandpas had testosterone levels of like over 1,000, and yet I have like under 400 when I did a test 2 years ago. It's probably a bit more now, but I'm not really sure why it was that low. I wasn't even on a bad diet or anything. It's like my father had more testosterone than me, which is fucking crazy. Like, we both did a test and saw that his was like barely like above mine. And that was just, that was so sad to see. But I guess it's time for another test. Of course, it's great that, yeah, my father has good, like higher levels, but even then it's low. I feel like I should have more, and so should he. Like, should be using like TLT or something. Yeah. This is just gonna be a small rant about these last few days, but I've been trying to improve my audio quality, right? So I bought this new mic, and it ended up not working because it's a Type-C, and my iPhone is like, well, it's iPhone, it doesn't have a Type-C outlet. So now I had to go like back and get an adapter, and then I got the adapter, which is like actually right here, because I wanted to use it now, but it's so, yeah, there we go. I wanted to use it right now, but I can't because it's actually a charger. It's not meant for like audio, if that makes sense. So now I have to go back again, get a different adapter, which is like audio transferable, if that makes sense. And it's just so annoying because it's like the third time now. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's it, brother. Thanks for listening.